Welcome, sports fans. Welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video. I'm your host, Joe Moore. I'm Rush, and this is the Third at Sports TV. Place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet.
Yes, but before we get into today's fantasy video, read the ticker, read the thing scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for subscribing. That's obviously you subscribed already. And if you already subscribed, we want to.
I want you guys to share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure that we get at least 6 subscribers. Because if each one of you guys can get us 6 subscribers, you know how many subscribers I'll get us by the end of the day.
Yes. So we're into the Fantasy Premier League show. For this week, 1 second, is week 8. Obviously, Premier League now is on international break, bro.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's still a good time for us because we still want to watch our reggae boys.
Yeah,
talk about
and to be honest, you know, reggae boys, big friendly international versus Argentina is coming up. That's going to be a big one. We're definitely going to be making content regarding that. So we're not very sad about it.
I'm not sad at all,
but many people will be.
Yeah, and we understand. We empathize. It is what it is. It's not a dead international window for us.
Mm-hmm.
But people, you know, in the Fantasy Premier League show, one thing of the show is that we have the manager of the week.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring him on early this week just so we can have he can be a serious guest on the show. Yeah, I don't want to just be in and out.
And I'm sure he has a lot to say.
Yeah, so I want to talk to him.
To be fair, bro, consistently doing well. You know, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's second place in our fantasy league.
Yes, I feel like he will definitely help this Third at Sports TV league participants. Because we really want to find out what is the sauce, what is going on.
What the farm with that?
Isn't it? So let's welcome Lauren Thomas to the Fantasy Premier League show. You.
All right. Thanks. But with the introduction, it's all luck, to be honest. It's nothing special.
Everybody loves it.
And to be honest, I disagree, it's not luck because, you know, youth is brilliant. But that's the first thing I noticed in a week where, you know, there were a bit of cancellation. But not necessarily cancellation, but postponements of matches due to events beyond anybody's control.
Yeah. And
he would have resorted to use that free. You know, other people would have used their wild card, you know, and still did not garner as much success. But let me continue to talk about it.
Anyways, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about Jomar's team, then my team, and then we're going to get into the manager of the week.
Yeah.
Can do that. So I don't want it to go easy on us. Scrutinize the teams. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what we're doing right.
Fair, he's well within position.
Yeah, you're sitting second in the league. Do it.
More successful now here.
All right, so let's bring up fantasy and let's talk about your team.
Let's bring up the team that is going to reign superior when it's also than the JGFC.
What about that team?
All right, bro. So most people would have opted to use their free hit. You know, apparently the free hit was used so many times this week. You know, that was a theme. However, because you know I only had the likes of Luis Diaz and Trent, you know, I refused to have any Manchester United players on my team regardless. So I wouldn't have to be forced to make a change. I like that Sanchez.
So it worked in your favor this time. You've been an Arsenal fan.
It has worked in my favor, to be fair. You know, so I opted to go with, because I didn't have Trent, you know, I just opted to go with Trippier. Yeah, I had him on my bench. I brought him in last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Saliba is a person that will never leave my team. I've been saying it for 8 weeks now, and I'll continue to say William Saliba is the man. In fact, he's one of the highest point getters so far. He's almost at a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups.
One of the best defenders in the league so far.
My opinion, best centre back in the Premier League. But you know, we're not even we're not even I got built on that. You know, my midfield, Liam Bailey back in my team. I got him at 4.7, so I put him back in. A pretty standard team, you know. Yeah. People would have seen that, you know, I've made changes a couple of weeks, removing Salah from my team, you know, and managing to get Gabriel and having, you know, a more rounded team. Gabriel, Trippier, so on and so forth. So up front I had Mitrovic, Haaland, and Gabriel, you know, Captain Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it worked out.
Are you pleased with your returns this week?
To be fair, bro, knowing the quality that I possess, you know, getting less than 75 points in any week, and I feel disappointed. But considering that it's a weird week and Liverpool didn't play, so on and so forth, you know, I'll take
You take it.
Yeah.
All right. Lauren, what do you think about the squad?
The first thing I saw was Ward. So Ward, how Ward has managed to stay in the team for this long.
Yeah, and it's weird because I had Ward, as a person who
We've never seen it.
didn't play as much emphasis on my bench, and I had already used my transfer before knowing that the games would have been postponed. So I literally used my transfer while it was going on. I think I removed Williams and I got in one of the Wolverhampton defenders, Collins, because they've been doing so well. I decided I have to cash in on that right now because I think that form is going to continue.
Yeah.
And then I heard about the postponements and I was like, crap, I'm going to need a goalkeeper. Unfortunately, I didn't want to use any points to get a goalkeeper because it wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah.
So I just went with my.
And the thing is, who would be the keeper that you would have got? Nick Pope.
Yeah,
Nick Pope didn't keep a clean sheet. So
exactly.
kind of you would have got one.
And the thing is, to be honest, the keeper that I would have got wouldn't be Nick Pope. It would have been Sarr, which I ended up getting, because he's on my team now. So I have subsequently replaced Ward. Ward is. You will never see Ward on my team again going forward. I'll just let you guys know that. So yeah.
But this week I think City and Villa were the only two teams to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
And Ederson is too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
To spend that much on a keeper.
So
this week, but even before the postponements, because Leicester has been, in my opinion, the worst team in the Premier League this year.
Well, it's reflected on the table. And Ward has definitely been the worst goalkeeper. Yeah. But as I said, he was the cheapest starter, and as such, a lot of people would have gotten him just in case because they know that he would have been a sure 1 point. He can't even get 1 point.
Yeah.
So bad. But Sarr, Kasai, the second best point getting goalkeeper in the whole Premier League. That's why I went for him because he was a bit cheaper than Pope. Mm-hmm. So Pope was.
What's that? Oh, you're talking about for this week? I'm talking about who you have selected for that week.
Oh, for that? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't because they played Man City. It would have been Pope. Okay. Yeah, so as I said, I didn't want to spend any more points on a goalkeeper. So I just wanted to put Ward. But yeah, continue, bro. Continue the analysis.
Are you done on his team or we can move on? You want us to go back to his team? This is my
majority of these players. Majority of these are in my team. I had Target at the beginning and got injured very quickly. And
Hold on, Lauren. That's my team. Do you want us to go back to Joe Mar's team or are you done with that? Or you wanted to say something more about this one?
Yeah, because you had spoken about Ward, I was just defending my actions, because they are very in the
even with this one, for this week, it wasn't bad. I think there's a bit of Jamaican bias going on because I don't think Bailey deserves to be in any fantasy team at the moment.
No, all right, let me justify that real quick. So to be fair, he came and he put in a good shift last week and he was 4.7. So I got him as a solid cheap midfielder that has the potential to go off because he's playing on the wing. He's constantly wreaking havoc for against teams. So I decided as a 4.7, I'm not getting.
That's not bad. And look at your bench. I have Luis Diaz and Alexander Arnold. You play any other mobile and Bailey, any game. So I guess
Bailey's a rotation risk because you're not sure if he's going to start. Like he's been starting off recent, but he is a rotation risk.
Yeah, you have a point.
Liam Bailey won't be a starter for me. Generally.
Quick question, Lauren. Which team do you support in Premier League? I see I'm on a Wolves jersey. Does that mean anything or you just like jerseys?
I support Chelsea, but it's football.
You with a Wolves jersey.
I like Wolves, their style of football is the 3-back. Yeah. Well, that was last season. Now they're moving to a 4, but the system last season, enjoyed watching Wolves.
I understand. Everybody have a second team. Wolves is their second team. It's fine. I like it. This is my team. So for this week, I use my wild card, as Joe Mar said earlier. I've got 71 points.
Joe McCann.
I wanted to get 80 plus, but it didn't work. So 71 points.
For last week, with the postponements, with the death of the Queen, I think anything over 60 was good.
Anything over 60 is a good week in any week.
It wasn't a regular game week like all the other weeks.
Yeah.
But for this, the Emerson Royal, I think he's a rotation risk as well.
Yeah. Tottenham is very deep in their wing-back situation. There's so many options.
The thing is, up until that week 8, Emerson Royal started every single game for Tottenham. So I guess the thing is, a lot of the fans are calling for Royal to be dropped. And I guess Conte just decided to drop him this week. But for the 7 weeks prior to that, Royal started every single game.
But I would tell you something, Lauren. I'm so happy when he has his Tottenham players and he fails. It makes me feel so good in myself because he's an Arsenal fan. And me personally, I'm an Arsenal fan as well. I vowed that I would not use any Manchester United players or any Tottenham players. Every time you use Tottenham players and he fail, love it. Keep it coming.
All right.
Because that's a sellout, snake in a grass.
Lauren, this man can't separate in a game from being a fan of Arsenal. He can't do it. It's fine.
At the beginning, like my first year, I found it very hard to separate because I have a very strong dislike towards Arsenal and Man United. So I found it very hard to put them in my team. But then after a while, it's football.
You get used to the game I play.
As we say, karma is showing up. You know, I decided not to go and you see what the results are. Maybe
What are the results?
Maybe if you had
What are the
decided,
results? You're 20 points ahead of me.
all right.
That's not a lot of points. Anyway,
Chance anything.
Lauren, I told the story already.
I'm how much? I'm how much?
20
What?
points.
20 points. What?
Ahead of me.
All right.
Fine.
That's all that matters.
That's why you don't talk about fine.
Stop
Anyway,
using money on
Lauren, as I was saying, Lauren, I told the story already on one of the Premier League shows before this. In my first season, I lost my mini league with my friends on the last day because I refused to take out Ozil out of my team. In the season where Unai Emery was the coach, and you know what he was doing to Ozil. You see, Ozil is my favorite footballer, so I know what loyalty in this game can do to you. So I refused to do it. I'm just playing the game. All right, so let's go through the team now. So
not comparable, but okay.
Anyways, Pope, I feel like it was the best option for this week. What I wanted to do with the Newcastle defenders and goalkeeper, I wanted to triple up. I was going to start McTarget, but unfortunately, it worked out for me this time. So fortunately, it worked out. I benched him. I went for Royal. I expected him to start the game, but Perisic started that game, and it's fine. The thing is, it was between Royal and Perisic for me, and I went Royal. I think it was a cheaper option. Saliba, I feel like you have Saliba in the team.
I think Saliba is a must-have for every team.
Right.
Like Saliba is in every team at this choice.
Yeah, I want to see his price next year. I'm excited for that.
I was actually late to get him, so I got him when he was like 4.7. So while everybody got him for like 4.5, I was late on Saliba.
Who was your Arsenal defender to start the season?
I started with no Arsenal defenders. I had Martinelli. And I didn't trust their defense. It's Arteta coming from last season. You couldn't trust the defense. You didn't know what you were getting into.
Last season we weren't bad defensively though.
Listen,
last season we did well defensively. To be fair, so I don't see why. And then in addition to the fact that we added William Saliba, who is an absolute stud. So I got him from the get-go, to be fair. So
you're second in the league. I'm not going to question him. I'm not bashing for that decision. No Arsenal defenders and sitting second.
Even with Saliba, like you weren't sure he was going to start because I think if it wasn't for Tomiyasu's injury and Ben White being pushed out to right back,
you would have to work on
it. There's a possibility that Saliba wouldn't have started the first game.
There is, I think there's definitely a possibility, but Saliba has been performing since stepping foot back into London. Like from the preseason straight through, Saliba has been very good. So yes, there's a possibility that Ben White would have started at centre back, but I think Saliba secured his starting role regardless of the wing back situation.
I think at the beginning for Arsenal defenders, most people went with Zinchenko or Gabriel because they were more sure than.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, so. My midfielders, I wanted to triple up on Man City attackers. I feel like you have to triple up on Man City players. Whether you go Cancelo, De Bruyne, and Haaland, or anywhere you go, you have to have 2 Man City players. They are the best team in the league. And what I did was, I think I had a Man City defender, and I sold him and just got a midfielder. So I got De Bruyne and Ford to double up in the midfield. Martinelli didn't perform, kind of having a different form, not scoring or assisting for 2 weeks now. Liam Bailey, one of the better players to have in this week. Again, Liverpool was not playing, Man was not playing. Kane, Mitrovic, and Haaland. The thing is, I had Gabriel Jesus in my team. You see me, and I tripled up on Arsenal players because I honestly believe that Arsenal will perform, and I could get some points from it.
Against Brentford, of course. That's like I think it goes without saying.
In terms of the triple up on City, you said you wanted 2 midfielders from City. I think based on how City play, Cancelo is a midfielder.
True.
Exactly.
And you have the possibility of assists, goals, and them playing against Wolves that has no number 9. I think that would.
Same price.
It's a valid point. Something to think about going forward.
Taking advice from Larry Thomas.
Yeah, bro, he's sitting second in the league. I have no problem. I give him his props. What else do you think can better this team? What's some other advice you can give?
I think for the Royal, depending on the money, because I think
He's out. So you didn't know about the talk about that one. He's out.
I think it would have been better to have Cancel into the Royal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Foden,
Yeah, chance. Continue.
But Foden, it could have been somebody like Son, and then instead of Kane.
No man, Son too expensive.
Yeah.
So no, like
instead of Kane, so you said you use your wild card this week, right?
Yeah.
So the transfer wasn't an issue. So instead of Kane, I would have went with somebody like, even though I heard that he's injured now on international duty, I would have went with Isaac. Because with the Newcastle team, Newcastle fixtures look good based on, from what I'm seeing, their next 3 fixtures. The teams are all in the bottom 5 in terms of XG conceded so far. I think it's Fulham. Who is it? The next 3 fixtures, I know their next match is Fulham, and they have a few decent games. Isaac is on penalties, and with that Newcastle team, St. Maximin is injured now, but Fraser, Almiron around him, Bruno Guimaraes, if that's how it's pronounced, they're always going to create chances for him. So I think Isaac instead of Kane, and then the Foden for Son would have been better, and the Royal for Cancel. And based on money, I think the Kane money would have gone towards the Son, and he could have gotten Isaac.
Yeah, well, something to think about again. He gave me 3 things to think about, and I will. I promise.
Isaac is injured now, so looking in hindsight.
Yeah, in hindsight. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll be on the show again. Yeah, so let's see how the Eurochef C does for the rest of the season. Let's talk about your team though, Lauren lads. Real quick, walk us through what you were thinking for game week 8 with this. 18 points.
My team was actually in a very bad position. I had to free hit because I had like 5 playing players with the whole postponement and everything. Because I had Liverpool and Chelsea assets. I had 3 Brighton assets. So a lot of them wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have playing players. So I actually went in my free hit this week.
Worked like a charm.
Yeah, like I have 3 Brighton players, but a lot of my players would not have played.
Yeah.
So I had to go in my free hit that week, and luckily it worked out. Son saved me because when I saw that Son wasn't starting, like I heard it's on Twitter before, because I'm actually an FPL nerd, so like I follow all the pages. I heard from the day before that there's a possibility that Son wasn't starting.
Yeah.
But I forgot to change my team. The good thing I forgot I left the Son in my team. Him came off the bench points. I tried to go towards Newcastle because Newcastle were playing Bournemouth, and Bournemouth has not looked good all season. Conceded 9 against Liverpool. So I went tripling up on them. I went with Mitrovic, and in hindsight, I think I should have went with Jesus, but that's easy to say now that he scored. But everybody else, I am proud of the decision with. I think Haaland, the captain, is the easiest decision on FPL this year. That man is going to score. Goals almost, like even the 1 goal that he scored against Wolves, it was disappointing because you expect him to score more than 1 at this point. The one that stands out is the Demari Gray. Like I wanted to take 1 risk in the team, and even though he didn't score any points from watching the match, I'm proud of the decision that was made because I think he actually got man of the match. He created chances. He was lively. So yeah, lucky to get 89 points on my free hit, but next week I am in trouble.
All right, but to talk about it real quick, you speak about hindsight and the Mitrovic decision. Like, to be fair, Mitrovic against Nottingham Forest was sure a goal for anybody else except
like for Fulham to score 3 and him not to get a goal contribution in either of the 3 was surprising. And I watched the game, and I don't think he was in the game much.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game, to be fair. So, but I'm saying I wouldn't necessarily regret that call, to be fair. That's a good call. Mitrovic is not on first. You know,
Yeah,
you
it
just
just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made a good decision, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I didn't go to give much criticism on your team, your second in the league, 89 points.
Very
You know,
good.
where I want to be. So hopefully we're on the show and your advice can, you can say I took your advice and I'm doing well. Now, one thing I want to talk about before we close out the show, how do you think using all those persons using their wild cards and free hits and the chips that they use, coming back to the first game week after the international break, Liverpool will be back, Man City will be back, Crystal Palace, Man U will be back, Crystal Palace will be back, all, Brighton, all those teams will be back. That are going to be performing, and most people triple up on Arsenal, Tottenham, Man City, Aston Villa. How will that affect the league and those persons that use their chips?
I use my wildcard and freeze already. I think looking back on it now, I wish I'd held back from my wildcard, but that's easy to say because looking on it, I haven't looked on it and done the points differential from what I would have gotten if I didn't use my wildcard. But based on the position that I'm in, I think I'm top 200k in the world at the moment. So I think it was a good decision, but I'm going to struggle until the World Cup because the World Cup is basically a wild card. So I think it's 8 more game weeks. Try to push through until the World Cup, and after the World Cup, then it's basically a restart from there.
All right. Are you expecting some chaos, when the international break is over? There's a lot of people use their chips.
Not necessarily because the main person with this international break, I heard that City actually sent some medical staff away with the Norwegian team to ensure that Haaland's recovery is done properly. So once Haaland is good, I think I have 2 bench players just in case anybody gets injured. So from that should be good. Once Haaland is good, I'm good.
Once Haaland is good, we can talk about the video, bro.
Yeah, once Haaland
is good,
well,
should be good.
Why Haaland is like he's taking over the Salah role. You know that Salah role in the fantasy league years gone by, you must have Salah in the team. I think now it's a must have to have Haaland. I thought it would have been neck and neck, but no, it's just Haaland. Salah is not even in consideration.
With Liverpool's poor start, like people saying that Liverpool started poorly, but when you look on it, like they haven't been bad. Like they've been bad attacking wise, but defensively, Liverpool has been good. So and then the problem was Liverpool beat teams by the press and control in the midfield. Thiago is back fit.
Yeah.
I think they lost Thiago in their very first game. So once Thiago is back in that midfield, I think Salah will be able to thrive. Trent can get forward and everything will get back. And once Nunes, even though everyone is clowning him for his poor start.
Well, as I said, Ryan, there's only one way we're going to find out, and it's to keep watching,
But that is it. That's it for the Fantasy Premier League show of the week. Lauren, thank you for passing through. I hope we'll have you on the show again. It's kind of hard to track down the managers of the week because not everybody follows us on IG, not everybody watch other videos on YouTube. Some people join from Twitter, some people join from Facebook. But we track you down. So if you are a manager of the week in future game weeks, then we can have you on. So thanks for passing through, bro. Really appreciate it.
No problem. I'd love to be here, but I can guarantee you next week I'm not going to be manager because my team is not.
To be honest, I've been fighting so hard to be the manager of the week just 1 week. I think next week is my week.
Next week is the week?
I think next week is my week.
Let's see. Lauren, thank you for passing through, bro. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, man.
Yeah. All right, bro. That is it. Fantasy Premier League show of the week.
Good.
You never try it out no longer, bro.
No.
Nice little reason with Lauren Thomas.
You can see someone analyzing FPL, bro.
Yeah,
when you forget one, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, man, tell you?
No. The man take things serious. Man saying for that. Every Fantasy Premier League.
And I thought I was taking it serious.
No, man. There are people.
Sometimes when you think you're working hard, you ain't working hard enough.
Because to win the second league is a show for itself.
Yeah,
you can't talk about it, man. But anyways, people, this is it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to this or that Sports TV. But don't just share the video. Who do you want them to share?
I want them to share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure out of those 10 that you share to 6 people subscribe.
Yeah, 6.
Because if at least 6 people subscribe, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day?
Yeah.
Sorry, people, we can't even talk. He's been doing so much work. You've been all over the place.
I swear, we are working people, so subscribe and share it, isn't me? But for now, this was the that Sports TV.
Big up to man like Lauren Thomas.
Yeah, we're out.